They have everything to play for.
Malcolm and Angus had got together and started jamming some ideas. Bon popped into a rehearsal studio in London and actually sat in and played the drums with them. It was just jamming. And they said, Bon, we're almost there, give us a few weeks, we'll call you and we'll get back into the studio. And they knew by this point the next record was crucial. Highway to Hell had had big success in America. Things were really changing for them, and Bon could sense that too.
But Bon won't get the chance to work on the next ACDC album. After a night out drinking, he passes out while being driven home by a friend.
A friend took him back to his place, couldn't get him out of the car, and he was left alone in his car for way too long, as it turned out.
Left unconscious, Bon suffocates on his own vomit. He's found dead the next morning.
The death certificate said acute alcohol poisoning.
It was a tragedy, and the sad part was that they were all in the same city in London at the time, and Bon was alone. And I know that they felt guilty about that. They were devastated.
I just was in absolute disbelief. It was just extraordinary.
Strangely, Bon often said he'd die young.
Just for a drink, a relaxation, you know, maybe to clear the head, you know, and then look forward to getting into his one and come up with some ideas, you know, and he had it all in front of him.
On that cold night, Bon Scott was only 33 years old, but his time was running out. After a night of heavy drinking, Bon ended the evening alone, passed out in a car parked outside his friend's house. In the morning, he was found dead.
From what I still can gather, he had fallen asleep, you know, in a car, and more or less, you know, asphyxiated, you know.
He choked through the night, the position he was sleeping.
During the night, Bon had apparently vomited in his sleep and choked to death. Angus was the first band member to get the sad news.
I had called the guy who was managing us, and he told, you know, that it was true that he had died, so.
Angus called me. I was just totally stunned. You can't explain the death and how it affects you, you know. Everything just is numb. It's as simple as that.
Wondered, you know, just what do you do?
Scotland Yard said the body of Bon Scott.
Discovered last night in a car, but his body will be carried out late today. The result of some heavy drinking.
Within hours, everyone in the band knew the awful truth, and the media were already flashing the news of Bon's death. Malcolm took it upon himself to notify Bon's family in Australia before the tabloid reporters got to them first.
Someone has to tell them, you know, and it's better coming from one of the band than from a newspaper.
Over the phone, yeah, got a shock in my life. And because I thought it was him on the end of the phone. I just screamed. Yeah.
Most difficult thing I've had to do. God knows how they felt. I hope I never have to do anything like that again.
The band pulled together and refused all interviews, while Bon's death was sensationalized in the tabloid press.
Especially in Britain, they made it a bit of a joke almost, you know. We never forgive them for that. All we were concerned about, mainly at that time, was Bon's parents. They're real nice people. They don't need you.
A lot of this.
Tell us all of that, you know, that was what was going to happen to him.
To hear that he just was gone. Not Bon Scott. I mean, not anybody, but not him. I mean, he was the lyricist, he was the humor, he was the swag, he was ACDC.
The Youngs were only in their early 20s. They never really experienced tragedy and loss like this before in their lives. They were probably unsure about whether ACDC would ever continue.